What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day of dumping. This is what we call pain like we've never felt before. Anyway, I don't think it's that extreme. But anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another $1.06 billion dumping in the market. What the who told them to do this? With everything, I mean literally everything, with the exception of gold, the DXY, and the FTSE are red today. Some way more than others. Equally, some throwing up potentially an opportunity. The big question of the day is this it? Are we finished? Is the market going to zero? We'll try and break all of that down in tonight's live stream. We'll sort of get into a little bit as to what happens. But I just want to state my position from the start. So I'm clear in terms of how we walk through and where we get to. This doesn't make any sense to me, all right? Doesn't make any sense to me. All of the macro stuff is saying we should be going up, and yet somehow we're sat on day 2 of a massive liquidation event. So nothing makes sense right now. We're going to try and make some sense of it, and we're going to try and put some sort of views on it so that we can either A, panic and get rid of everything we've got and get out of the market and sit back and relax, or we can be like, okay, this is, I mean, it's not going to be fine, is it? But this is fine, all right? This is kind of where we get to. And there's a couple of things going on at a macro level that we need to be aware of. We'll take a look at some technicals to sort of get a bit of a view as to maybe what's coming next for the price of Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. And then everything else, all right? We're just going to kind of chill out, hang out. We could be, you know, completely freaking out tonight, but we're not going to. We're not going to. So anyway, hit the like button if you're coming in. Also, don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new here. And if you're here on TikTok as well, tap that screen, lock in those follows. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, we'll get into it in just a second. So, a couple of people. Welcome, Craig. Good to see you. 37's here as well. Tim, good man. Welcome in. Robert's here. 37's here. Good to see you. Beebs here. Andy Box, welcome in. Obi Joe's here. Good to see you, buddy. Crackerjack, Moto, welcome. Vern's on the building. Oh no, a crash. Viva La Bacon, light number 11. What's going on, Viva? Griff Nash, welcome. BITUNIX here as well. Good to see you. XRP Hodler Ascari in the house. It's pure liquidations. I mean, it feels like it. I'm not worried. What? Shake me out. Curtis is dialed in. And Viva, like we said. And welcome, everybody, tuning in on TikTok. Shane, thank you so much for the heart me's. Welcome to you. Ollie's here as well. Good to see you. Libra. Yusha, Giuliano, welcome in. XRPs, he said, I need you to fix the price situation. I'm on it. Fairground is in the building as well. Yeah, Michael Saylor put the nail in the wood by buying another 20 million in Bitcoin. Yeah, I know. What's going on, XRPs? Like I said, share it, get bullish on it, do all of that stuff. We're going to get into it as well. What is your price predictions for NIA? We'll definitely get into all the altcoins and anything you guys want to talk about in just a little bit. So, oh, come on, 2-bit for flipping. Here I am, look. God, I'm such a noob at this like whole YouTube thing. There we go. There we go. Right, TikTok, you guys need to face this way as well. We're gonna have a look at some. We're gonna have a look at some charts. And we're gonna try and make some head details of it. Does anyone have Brad Islands on speed dial? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Right. So this is the daily chart here on BTC. Current price 109,541. Now, interestingly, this is a historic Fibonacci from the recent high that we came in at 124,373. Now, for many of you that were here last night, did I call this dumb last night? No, of course I didn't. What I did say, though, was that today was going to be important and that actually the confirmation of a breakout would happen today, not yesterday. So, albeit we saw a good green candle yesterday, it was always going to be about today. And what's interesting about today is that it literally dumped from mainland China, India, all those some we talked about yesterday that bought. And then it just capitulated throughout the day with a real, in my opinion, mission to liquidate as many longs as possible. Now, there is obviously some key things to think about. I thought we'd come a little bit lower. I actually talked about this 106 level, but 108, 340 is probably where I'm looking at. 382 Fibonacci on the retracement if we were to continue to see some push down. Now, it feels like we may have just sat tight. We may have kind of just holding where we currently sit. But yeah, pretty painful event. If you go on the 1 hour chart here, you can see just how this all sort of played out over the course of this morning. So you can see here, we actually rallied up pretty nicely into the late sort of last night, obviously in the live stream. And then we sort of just sold all the way through with a big old liquidation event happening around $111,000, breaking down before that at approximately 7 p.m. So a pretty aggressive dump on the back of kind of a pretty painful day, albeit we were holding some key levels before that sort of breakdown. Now, I know we're all thinking, right, 2-bit. It's good that we know that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Why has it done that? It's good that we all need to go that. But what actually was going on and why is we then... What's happened? Why has that just done that? Oh my God. Sorry, hold on a minute. Everything's just decided to like close itself down, which is a bit weird. Right. So the question therefore is, why did we get what we've got? And I think this is important to reference. And the reality is, it's the same old playbook. That's the problem, right? It's the same old playbook, and the playbook, unfortunately, is not designed to let anyone other than the big people or the people with deeper pockets win. So what? Yet again, we saw some massive movement of cryptocurrency. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that Binance or any other specific cryptocurrency portfolio platform took the opportunity to dump the markets, right? I'm not saying that at all, because that would obviously be a little bit uncomfortable. And equally, you know, you don't want to be in a world where you are specifically calling out certain elements if you can't really back it up or you can't really sort of walk through it. But the fact of the matter here is that, interestingly enough, when you sort of break down today, you can sort of say, well, oh, well, do you know what, 2bit? You don't have to say anything. Binance, this morning, just to give you an idea, by the way, this is 6 hours ago, 7 hours ago, they were moving $100 million of USDC between some of their wallets. Now, again, you don't have to believe me. On-chain data is absolutely where it is. Where it starts to get even crazier, and we'll sort of double down on what I want to make the point here, but where it starts to get a little bit crazier is yet again, and remember, when we saw the big sell-off on Tuesday, this was where we believe was driven very much by a Binance move. Well, guess what? We're seeing pretty much exactly the same happen yet again. However, it is now the opposite way around. You'd have to scroll down to about what? If we think about it, 12 hours ago. Well, no, we said 7, didn't we? So a couple of hours ago. So $40 million worth of BTC being moved around. You can see here, look, these are obviously big movers of Bitcoin. Obviously the red and the green. So green going in, the red going out. Interesting to think about there. So you've got massive amounts of BTC being moved around. Massive amounts of Ethereum as well as USDT. Again, you can see a lot of it going through to Coinbase. A lot of it going back into Windmute. Equally, Binance dumping over $30 million over a couple of hours ago. Now, again, I am not saying for a second that Binance are the root cause of this entire dump, because they're not, all right? They're not. And people may think I'm crazy when I say that, but they're not. The reality is, though, that Binance and many other exchanges create the fear in the market. Now, many have heard about the market makers, etc. They create the fear in the market. The fear in the market then dumps the price. And this is where we see lots of liquidations and we see lots of painful moves in the market. All you have to do is look at exactly what's going on. Why today of today's? Why all of a sudden would we seeing massive amounts of Bitcoin being moved in and out of liquidity providers for those exchanges? That's the question you go ask yourself, right? It doesn't make any sense. So again, and then you see it as a market-wide push down. So there's two theories that I think goes apparent to this, right? Two theories that I think go apparent. You could say, well, the market's over, right? The market's over and we were over leveraged and the top came in back in sort of late August and we've bled it ever since, right? Ethereum's down like 20% since the I think it's 4,930 or whatever it is. And that's one theory, one hypothesis, the market's over. But then you kind of flip it on its head and say, well, why? Why all of a sudden? Why today? Why all of us, this week, when we see $2.6 billion sell out of the market, is the market over? Like, that's not how bull runs end. That's not how bear markets start. There has to be a catalyst to create the nervousness and create the fear. Well, there isn't a catalyst. And actually, when you go and have a look at a lot of things, there doesn't seem to be anything out there specifically. There's a really good article here from Rashid bin Saeed. I'm sure he's in the UAE, but it says this. So you're telling me Bitcoin dumped more than $10,000 in 7 days without any major negative news? This is pure manipulation. All these big exchanges and market makers are liquidating people and making millions with volatility. A typical Wall Street playbook. Pretty interesting. But the fact of the matter here is that it's right. We have seen massive capitulations, over $2.6 billion come out of the Bitcoin leverage situation, and there's no reason for it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I saw that onwards. So then you get into this geopolitical, macroeconomic tensions that are out there. And you could say, yeah, there was some Russian planes flew over Alaska and the US scrambled fighter jets to go and get it. All right, fine. I don't think it's that big. So you say, well, okay, let's look at some data. Let's understand then at a macro level, what is it that is driving the market? So you'd expect Oops. You'd expect then some pretty painful data to come out. Well, we had a couple of indicators of data today, which is important. And then everything just turned out to be pretty good news, right? Which is kind of crazy as well. So I actually tweeted this out, which is interesting. I don't know if you guys follow me on social media, but sure. But anyway, the US real GDP in Q2 2025 was revised up, right? So it came in initially at 3.3%, right? That's a fucking huge growth for GDP in the US. That's irrespective of tariff. That is literally what the company is producing, okay? It got revised up to 3.8. Basically, that what they're saying is that the GDP in the US is growing, right? Growing. And so many people didn't think it was going to happen. Personal income in July increased by $112.3 billion, or about 0.4% on a monthly basis. Disposable personal income also rose by 0.4% in July. Personal consumption expenditure increased in July, rising by 0.5 month on month. US current account deficit narrowed in Q2. All right. And initial jobless claims, by the way, that came in today, 217, forecast 237, reduction of 25,000 jobless claims. Okay. So the macro data is like, well, everything's fine again. Everything's fine. So you kind of exhaust every possible avenue and ultimately get back to this, which is the market got freaking liquidated. That's it. That's the only place you can get to, isn't it? I think anyway. It's the only place you can get to, and that's how we end up with what we've got. Market-wide sell-off, whereas gold is still holding up. The S&P 500 has a little bit of a pullback, no dramas. And then, like I said, the NASDAQ is in there as well. You can tell the data that was good coming out of the US, particularly economic data. Why? Because look at this. This is the dollar index. It's actually rallying now, and the dollar is now as high as it's been since early September. That's like 4 weeks ago. This tells you the actual macro data that came out, which then brings me to the point of then saying, well, okay, if the macro data is telling me that everything is better, if the key things that basically create volatility in the market are better, and all the things that would push price down are better, then surely everything, like D-Ream would say, will just get better. That is where I freaking get to. And I can't find a solution as to why it's not going to be like that. But yeah, that is ultimately where we are. And it doesn't feel great. I'm going to lie to you anyway. Somebody made, yeah, I mean, exactly that. Exactly that. Sunshine, thanks everybody. Hey, thanks for all the likes so far. Thanks for the follows. Do share us out, by the way. There's a little like arrow. It's like here somewhere. Click on this. Share it out to everybody. Let everybody know we're here. And it'd be great. We've got like nearly 50 odd people in here. So yeah, good. Brandon says, so if the exchange is coming up in the market, will we ever see BTC hit the amounts that we are so-called experts have told us? So Brandon, this is where it gets more interesting. Holy shit! Hunter's in the house, everybody. Where the fuck have you been? On a serious note, though, where have you actually been, bro? Where have you been? Man, you came up in conversation way more than I thought you would do. Oh, man, I hope you're good. I think I messaged you as well. You didn't reply. He's back, though, everybody. He's back. Now you know the bull run's on, baby. Where's Hunter been hunting? I mean, I've no idea. How low is ETH going? Well, 3,800 is where a lot of people are talking about. Right now, you're at a key level, right? We're at a key level on Ethereum. We did break down to the lower support, 3,800. Then the reality is, hopefully, we start to see this come back, right? Hopefully, we start to see this come back because we freaking well need it. But yeah, ETH now currently trading around 3,870. If we can hold that, that'd be fine. It could come as low as 3.3. I mean, 3.3 is like fucking sell everything and get the hell out of the markets. That's my opinion at 3.3. But anyway, I think we could see that's probably where we get to anyway on ETH. But again, BTC could come down a little bit further. We did, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see 108, 340, right? But I do think 108, 340 for me would be where I would potentially take some trades on potentially. I maybe be tempted to go long out of 108, 340. That, you know, lower than that, I think. We'll see what happens. If you are interested, though, in getting all of that, maybe getting some alpha insider and having a community to talk to, do check out our Discord. It is totally free to join up. However, there is a premium section as well where you get trade alerts, you get coins that are launching, you get everything else, and you can get the community as well. So if you are interested, link is in my bio, also in the description if you want to join in. It's a couple of bucks a month. It's not going to break the bank. All right. Do you think it's over for the year? No. 3.3k ETH. How? Well, that was where major support would be post 3,800. Do I think we're going to 3,300? No. I'm hoping we're going to hold 3.8. That's my view, but again, we'll have to see. People are going to panic. Asia may buy the markets. Here's the thing to think about. Did China dump the markets to dump the markets? There was some news coming out about China as an example, in order to then today buy the markets back up. Like, who knows? Got to understand, this market is not fair, right? It's not fair. That's the best way I can put it. And if you can't handle it, if this isn't the markets for you, it's just not. But at the same time, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't trade it for the world. China's local government sell 15,000 Bitcoin worth 1.25 billion via offshore private entities, as reported by Reuters, reflects a shift from their 2021 crypto ban. I mean, that's the thing. You got to look at the macro. You got to look at trying to, understand what's happening. So anyway, that's where BTC sits, by the way. Lots of alts are just absolutely ruined. I don't think it's worthwhile going through. BNB back below 1,000. The only one that I think could be, well, two actually, that I think is probably worth your time. Will there be financial? Only down 2%. And again, their governance vote just come in recently, which is, again, good news. So if you are bullish on World Liberty Financial, that could be something to keep your eyes out for. And then equally, Asta, which, again, guys can go look at that. Many people have been talking about. You can see there, look, perfectly respecting this level we touched on yesterday. Is this going to take a bounce? Currently on a downtrend. Lots of people buying it. We'll see, right? We will see where this closes out, but could signal a buy opportunity. Equally, by the way, could end up being a complete waste of time. Oh, that'll be why you never messaged me back. Oh, well, send us it then, Hunter. Send us it. That would be good. But good to have you back, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And welcome to the 112 people that are here. Don't forget, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. I would definitely appreciate it. And again, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well. Bullish on you guys. Okay. This then also could play out pretty favorable. Likewise with meme coins, they're absolutely smashed to pieces. Pudgy Penguins down at 2.6. You got Bonk down 5, Pepper down 5, Whiff down, Trump Coin down, Pump Fund down 8. This might be screaming as a buy opportunity. Maybe. Again, I'm not saying financial advice on this channel. This is just my opinion on things. But that is where we are. Okay, good. Gabriel Thomas, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Yasmon, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you guys. So let's get into a little bit then of kind of what else could come. Should we be worried? Should the end of the market be here? Well, look at this. The prediction of the Bitcoin bull market. Again, here, look, historically, the Bitcoin cycle lasts about 1,064 days, starting to count back from the exact bottom. You can also see if the pattern repeats, we have just over 30 days left in the tank. Either we're reaching the end of the cycle or the pattern is about to break into an extended, gradual bull market. Look out for some content coming later on. Raoul Powell has now flipped to 2026 as the close for crypto. Even Raoul Powell's gone 2026. What the f*** is it only me? As we discussed yesterday, and equally as we discussed last night on the TikTok show, by the way, which we ended up with Mr. Non-Fungible, which is super cool, actually. We were talking about some really cool stuff last night. Is this true? Raoul Powell's going on the fact that we could see 2026. All of us are going to see this play out. I mean, he was certainly in a view where he thinks we're going to 2026. We can actually listen to what he has to say, if you bear with me, in one freaking secondo, baby. Here we go. Right. Let's see what Mr. Raoul Powell said. You guys can watch it as well here on the talk. Let me just make sure you guys can actually see it. Which you guys can there. Okay, right. Let's see what Mr. Raoul Powell is all about. I won't play it all, but pretty interesting.
Why is Bitcoin sort of not wildly off to the races yet? And it's this chart. Bitcoin is basically, this is a detrended Bitcoin, and it's basically the ISM, which is the business cycle. Remember, we've always said it's the business cycle stupid. It is always the business cycle stupid. And all of these people who claim it's the 4-year cycle based around this and that, they don't understand the fundamental of what the business cycle is, why there's a 4-year cycle in everything. And we've explained it. We'll go through it in great detail tomorrow in our Everything Code presentation. But basically, it's following the ISM. And rates have been following the same pattern. You see, rates should have come lower. They need to come lower because we need to roll the debt. We've talked about this. That's part of the Everything Code, fundamental part. And ISM, because rates are so high, has meant that Main Street has been screwed while Wall Street's made money from debasement. Earnings versus scarce assets. This is the issue that they need to solve, and they need to get rates lower. They get rates lower. Why? Why do we have an elongated business cycle that looks like virtually no other real other time? It's because, and I only just found this out redoing the work on the Everything Code recently, is that in 2021-22, they actually extended the maturity of the debt from 4 years to 5 years. So that extension of the maturity of debt has pushed out the business cycle a year. The 4-year cycle this time around is a 5-year cycle. We don't know what the next one will be until we see where they all end up getting refinanced, whether it comes back to 4 because they managed to get some stuff at the long end, or whether they shorten it because everything's in the short end. We don't know yet, but this one is a 5-year cycle. And this is what it looks like. A 5.4-year sine curve. 5.4 years is the exact average weighted maturity of the debt. And it tells us the ISM should peak by 2026. We think liquidity probably peaks before that, as the rate of change of ISM changes and the rate of change of liquidity changes. Our best guess remains well into 2026, probably Q2.
So there you go. 2026, probably Q2. What? Seems to be there's only me still that's holding on to a 2025 finish. All right, it's only me holding on. Anyway, Rapal giving us his view that, well, if this does, in theory, go into a 2026 cycle top, then all bets are off and all tops are not in. This could then signal massive shifts to where we think we could end up going in 2026. Pretty crazy. By the way, I'm still in a world where I think that 2025 will be the end, and I still believe that we follow this model. However, if we were to go into 2026, then yeah, Crispendix, I think it could be some sort of craziness come in, which could be freaking wild. Could be pretty wild. So yeah, think about it. Do we see that play out? Perhaps. All right. Perhaps. Also, worth noting here, is this a retest of the lower range? If you go back to the start of the cycle, which is the collapse of FTX, which interestingly enough, 1.6 billion is on its way back in 5 days. And actually, I think Sam Bankman-Fried somehow is kind of getting back out of prison. Anyway, all that kind of crazy stuff. Is this just a retest of the low range, 103 to 105? Maybe that place as well. When do you think we could recover? I mean, tomorrow will be an interesting day. In fact, let's just call it the next 6 hours are going to be pretty interesting. The last 2 days, we've definitely seen some pretty aggressive dump arenas. Ollie Holmes says, are you worried? No. I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I have capital on the side, which I'm holding on to at the minute. And yeah, so I'm not worried at the minute. And if I think about where I am, I think the market would have to take another really big hit for me to be like, okay, I need to protect a little bit of capital here. I did think about it today, and I was like, okay, maybe I close out a couple of positions that are way up in profit, which again, like as an example, do I take a little bit off the top for Solana? Perhaps. But yeah, as it stands at the minute, I'm not worried. Let's put a poll out actually. Let's do a poll here as well. We were doing polls last night. It was kind of fun. So let's do a poll. And yeah, basically the smiley face is you're not worried. The sad face is that you are worried. And then TikTok, and then YouTube, you can answer it as well. So smiley face, not worried. Sad face, worried. Let's see what you guys think. We're all frustrated and disappointed, but no worries. I'm just going to go to bed like normal tonight. Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is that I'll take another breath and I'll continue to live. All right, I'm cool with that. Unstate my Solana and Ethereum a little over a month ago. Probably soon they will make those funds active. How convenient. I mean, that's true. Although that must be on like Coinbase or something then. Because Solana, if it's on DeFi, it doesn't take any time to kind of do. So, man, yeah, so you guys are super, bullish then, you guys. No one's fading this. And then I guess the debate is, look, where do we go next? What could this look like? And ultimately then, where do we all sort of start to play out in this sentiment? Could this be the accumulation before the big move? Potentially that's where it's going to play out. The altcoin market cap, maybe that's the big one. I think there are more bleeding down to 100K. If it can't hold, then 93 is my next downside area. I mean, look, people still talk about the CME gap at 93. You know, those people that just like the fact that there's like a CME gap there. They love it. Maybe it goes down there. I don't know. If you're worried you have too much in and you can't afford to lose, simple. That's true. You sound, my sound has changed again. Has it? Sure it's not your sound? It shouldn't do. It's literally a microphone here. Like, I don't touch anything. Just make sure it hasn't. Shouldn't do, though. Should be fine. So, yeah. Anyway, let's think about this. Let's think about where we get to. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll start to see this push back to the upside. The big debate is always going to be what is happening here in Wall Street land. All right. So, what are those guys doing? Obviously, we got the liquidation data that came in today. And what's interesting when you start looking at this liquidation, and again, this kind of brings me to the point where you go, this doesn't make any sense. Look at it. It's totally out of kilter. So you're telling me that this goes all the way back to March 2025. And this week specifically, we see the two biggest days of long liquidations this year. Like, come on, really? Like, do people think we're stupid? They must do. We need to get far greater full quick tap. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Only profit if you sell. That's true. Micro is still in a supercharge event, so it'll probably just leave it there now for the next couple of months. For other supercharge events, sounds like a good time. There you go. XRP is a future period. No worries. Hopefully. Robert says, I think the bottom is in. Boxing fans, for me, if you're holding your altcoins and the market might be a good to DCAing, if you have multiple or leverage positions, then you might be shitting yourself. I mean, that's a pretty, it got louder. Or maybe, well, it shouldn't have done. Slider ban fruity. Get out of here. Get out of here. It changed. Oh, well, I don't know why. It shouldn't do. Nothing should change. Unless if I press this button, if I press this, does that make it better? Kind of wild if it does. Is it best to buy now or wait? Well, that's the question. And you have to, my view, by the way, would see what happens in the next 6 hours. You need to see what China, mainland India and stuff do. That's kind of my opinion. And those markets open in about 4 hours. So yeah, I would wait and see what happens. But yeah, anyway, this is kind of where we get with the liquidations event. The key thing, and so many people are jumping on this bag. I mean, I love the kind of whole TikTok and X bit where people are like, see, I told you this market was going to zero. We need to kind of track what the big capital's doing. We saw inflows into the market yesterday. No surprise, we saw the market push up. Now, what's been looking like today? Well, the reality is it looks like an ETF inflow. Now, this may pivot, and before the close of the markets, this may all kind of wash through that we don't necessarily see an influx in ETFs. However, the reality is it does still stand that institutions are still buying. Yes, people are telling us that BlackRock are selling, but they're selling Bitcoin. Their holders aren't. And remember, I talked about this before. This metric here, what we're looking at here, ultimately is a demand figure. This is what the customers of BlackRock want. This isn't about them going out into the open market and buying. The weird thing is, though, that it's not pulling through. Although, yeah, sorry, they did get that. So, yeah. So we are seeing this as a demand number that basically the customers of BlackRock want to buy Bitcoin. So this, again, stands true that institutions are still buying this market. Like, it's a bit crazy to think about. So again, we'll sort of say where that sits. The reality is, though, like we said, strong jobs report does send dollar flying. This is obviously an indication that people don't like the fact that the dollar is moving up. Why is the dollar moving up? Bad news because of this. All right. And if TikTok, I mean, I can show you guys actually. Vern, what's going on? Thanks, buddy. These are the treasury yields. We don't like it when these go up. For example, you've got a 10-year treasury now at 4.172%, giving you a 0.5% increase on the day. Look at the 2-year treasury. All right. So the two that people really look at, the 10-year and the 2-year, 1.47. That's a massive increase to 3.65% on that treasury yield. So people can start to earn big money, and they earn big money in a relatively safer environment. So then you got to ask the question, why would then people decide to come into the market? In particular, when you start looking at things like, so-and-so bought $1.6 billion worth of Solana. Well, it's just got absolutely fucking nuked over a week. And it's like, well, they're probably not going to be asked about that anymore. So you could then allow yourself, if you put a tinfoil hat on and said, is this deliberate? Is this kind of the kid that gets in first and doesn't want to share their sweets with everyone else? Is this a way of captivating the market? Wall Street is Wall Street for a reason, right? That's why you have the Magnificent Seven. Think about how Amazon's business model works. Think about Microsoft. Think about all these top tier companies and how they do it. They basically squash anyone that's going to compete in that same field. Is this exactly the same? These people getting into treasury companies, are they just being liquidated on purpose so that, well, they just take their money and bat and ball and go home? Difficult one to think about. Aptos connectivity, me too, but running low on. What's going on, Aptos? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Appreciate you. Hey, thanks for tapping, everybody. You guys are crushing it over there. Keep going. You guys on YouTube, not so much. All right, so hit the like button, everybody. But yeah, anyway, keep your eyes on this. The jobs report data did come in good, though, by the way. Did come in good. I think it's important to reference that, dropped by 14,000 to 218 third week of September, marking 2-month low, while Q2 GDP revised upwards. So, that kind of says that, it doesn't really play out favorably for rate cuts, but still, look, we don't need rate cuts. We need money printed, but still. Look at this. Rex Osprey is now unveiling its first Ethereum stake in ETF amid a cooling investor appetite. This could be interesting as well. And then, okay, we're putting our tinfoil hats on again, everybody, but maybe people are just like, right, there is some fucking craziness coming with ETFs. There is some crazy numbers coming in terms of Wall Street investment. Well, I'm going to sit on the sidelines. The only thing that I don't think necessarily rings true here is that, particularly for Wall Street investors, you'd expect Ethereum ETFs to be selling off, and they're not. But we all know that there are people on the inside of this sort of stuff. Maybe next week there is some crazy announcements of ETFs and there's going to be this like fucking crazy flow of money into the markets. Maybe. We'll have to see. Bitcoin dropping experts speak out failure to maintain this level, which we sort of talked about. But, look, the fact of the matter is that we need to maintain probably 108. I think people call that, 111, but we absolutely obliterate that. 108 is sort of what I talked about. 106 is like super panic mode, but and then 100K is sell everything and get the hell out of the market. But we'll sort of see demand for ETFs has slowed. I think that's important to reference. And equally, only an 8% pullback. And this is the other thing to reference, by the way. 28%. It feels like the complete arse of the market's fallen out. But yeah, we will see where we get to. But like we said yesterday, ETF surged back with a record $241 million in inflows. And I think we'll see the same today, which then tells us that this selling is something else. All right. I know that's not the most analytical way of looking at it, but that's what I'm going for. All right. That's what I'm going for. And hopefully we get there. Right. Good. Box is learning, trading, working, lots still to learn. Yeah, well, there you go. You should be jumping into the Discord. If you are in the Discord, by the way, link in the bio and in the description. If you want to join our premium Discord, simply become a channel member. You get access free to our premium Discord, as well as getting a cool-ass little name. And you can also subscribe there on TikTok as well. If you want to do that, that would be good. And yeah, you get all the trade alerts, you get alpha calls, you get coins, etc., etc., etc. It's worth it, I think, I think it's like $8 a month. It's basically call. So yeah. Good news. Right. One of the other things that I was talking about the other day, and again, this may sort of allow you to just lick some wounds, maybe, is this. And we touched on this before, by the way, and I've touched on it in one of my videos. Will ETH fall below 3,800? Will it? Maybe. I don't want it to, though. This is worth noting, by the way. This is the exchange outflows. These are cryptocurrency coins, particularly Bitcoin in this sentiment, leaving exchanges. So what we're seeing this week is a pretty pants week. Look at it over the course of the month, though. It's pretty average in terms of where we're seeing. So again, you could argue nothing is out of the ordinary. Nothing is showing that everyone's panicking. Equally, we're not seeing people really exit exchanges for a long-term viable move, but everything is kind of normal, which then begs the question, why is the market done what the market's done today with this? And it therefore can only be, in my opinion, a leverage or an attempt to kind of shake people out of the market. But like I said, that's my view anyway. That's my view. So yeah, will ETH drop below 3,800? It doesn't look like it at this moment in time, which means that the US markets have shaken everything out. The European markets have shaken everything out. What you've got to look at, though, is what does Asia, India, all that kind of area open up like? What is that going to then tell us? That's the key thing to think about right now. And then obviously we need to then understand where the market's going to go. You got to be in a world, though. You got to have conviction in what you're talking about. The fact of the matter is you either go, the market's cooked and I need to get the hell out of this and I've missed it and blah, 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 blah. Or you go, I think we've got some more. So where do markets look like tomorrow? Pretty flat as it stands. The HSI, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, is flat. The Nikkei is up 0.2. The Shanghai is going to open flat. The STI, no jokes please, will open down marginally. Commodities, just FYI, everything except RBOB gas is up and up significantly. Currencies, you just got the euro and the pound, which look like they're going to drop a little bit as well. So volatility index is flat, which again doesn't really mean anything crazy. But the big news and the one to be mindful of, by the way, US treasuries are expected to rally again tomorrow on the sound of strong data coming in. So that could signal further pushing down the market. All right, you need to be aware of that. If treasuries come in good, people will exit the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets in favor then of treasuries. All right, so it might be worth noting. Red dips are good for those who can buy, but my masochist side is getting tied up. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Do you think we have a few more weeks of blood? I don't necessarily think weeks. In fairness. And things can change so rapidly in this market. That's the crazy thing, isn't it? You know, we could do 8% tomorrow, which I always say. The fact of the matter is, this does feel a little bit more coordinated. I think it's worth noting, by the way, we still sit at 1.27% for a green month on September, which is, you know, kind of fine. But yeah, we could definitely see further downside. But we've seen this before, and then we've sort of rallied up. That's invalid now, so we'll see. October is around the corner as well, which generally is a solid month for us, both from an economic standpoint and historic standpoint as well. Really Rich says Jack Doherty has a coin. We're absolutely done. Sell everything, everybody. Oh, shit. Get out. There's no way. No way does he have a coin. If he does, please don't buy it. Please don't buy it. Does he really? I thought that was ages ago. 10 months ago. Yeah, Jack Doherty rug pulling his viewers live on Pump Fun. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all, by the way. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But I haven't seen anything recently. Selling to get the new people is big pockets can get in before. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I'm not scared. I got 8 XRP per dollar. There you go, baby. That's the way to play it. JFR, what's going on? Crypto talk, tax talk on October 1st. I would love for a non-tax on US crypto. Well, that's the answer. CFTC roundtable coming up, specifically discussing digital asset taxation. We talked about this yesterday. Could end up playing favor. What's the coin called? Really Rich. Oh, we might have some breaking news, everybody. Breaking news coming in right now. Hold on a minute. We might have some breaking news that Tomato Pete isn't going to like, but maybe the rest of people do. Justin, BlackRock files for a premium income premium income Bitcoin ETF. Interesting. Maybe they know something. I mean, this doesn't help, does it? You're like, what's going on? It's like the sun. Get out of here. I think people are getting rid of over-leveraged wallets that have taken too much risk, taking everything back. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is true. We talked about that, by the way. We talked about over-leveraged positions. You could almost see it like open interest was way higher than it should be. But still, that then would allow or support the narrative that people are definitely liquidity hunting and wrecking people where they need to wreck them, which doesn't feel particularly great. Doesn't feel great. BlackRock's the equivalent of page 3. I mean, just slightly worse. Just slightly worse. What's going on, everybody? Don't forget, if you can, just do me a quick favor here. We've got 82 people in the live here on TikTok, so shout out to everybody tuning in. Hit the follow button. Don't forget, tap that screen as well. Massively just helps out the channel. Building a really good community here, so we appreciate you guys. Likewise as well on TikTok. No, you're not on TikTok. You're on YouTube, by the way. Do me a favor, smash that like button, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. I think it's worth it. I just see the post saying Rex Osprey is going to follow up XRP. Yeah, we just talked about that. Literally just talked about it. I think people are getting rid... Oh, I said that, didn't I? Bought a bunch. Jack Doherty live. Is it actually Jack Doherty coin? I'm trying to see it now. I can't see it. There doesn't seem to be anything about it anywhere. Everything's like July 26, July 26, July 26. Is this the coin you're talking about? This coin called Jack? I mean, we can take a look at it for sure. We can take a look at it. It's literally just called Jack, yeah? Is that the one you mean? Stable Jack on Pump Fun. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'd need some sort of contract address or something to have a look at it. I mean, I can't find anything that's talking about it, in my opinion. I do a poll 2-bit. The one you did last night about BTC to 150. Oh yeah, well, let's do that. Okay, we'll do that poll. Right. So smiley face is Bitcoin gets to 200K or above. Sad face is that Bitcoin gets to 150K but not above. So you got below 150. Hold on a minute. Yeah, below 150 or above 150, right? Smiley face above 150, sad face below 150. There you go. Let's do the poll. Let's do the poll. Yeah, you guys were crushing it last night. No, Jack Doherty. Oh, it's live on. I can't access pump from in the UK. Flow will accumulate XRP. Yeah, I saw that. They've minted 5 million XRP already, I think it is. Yeah, I can't get on Pump Fun. I can't get on Pump Fun. I'm in the UK, so I can't do it, unfortunately. Which I think you can with a VPN, but it would mess all my stream up and stuff, so I can't do it. And it must be on Dex Screen, or is it like a new coin? Like, I can't. All I can see is Jack on Pump Fun. Maybe I can try and find the contract address of this original one, but hold on, what's this one? Oh, there we are. All right, yeah, okay, fine. Let me see if I can find this. People are getting to be this fake. Don't watch and see. I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Back in a minute, 2-bit. All right, Fairground, no dramas. No dramas. What did you miss? Not much. Not much, Alvin. I mean, a massive old dumperino in the market. Oh, September 23rd. Here we go. I've got it live on Pump Fun. Right. It's literally called Jack. Where's the contract address? Live on Jack. Man, this is just awful. Where is it? I can't find the contract address. All I can find is the link. I've got a lot of supporters that are getting broken. We could be cooked. I mean, maybe. Maybe. It doesn't feel like it. Oh, there we go. I've got it, I think. Right. Oh, hold on a minute. Right. I think I've got it. I think I've got it, boys. Dex screener. Let's have a look at it. Right. Let's have a look. I've got the contract address. Oops. There we go. And the answer is, I mean, it doesn't look rugged. It doesn't look rugged, but it definitely looks bad. That's what I would say. Oh, no, it does look. Oh, come on, people. This is terrible. Oh, bro, come on. Really? Look at this. Yeah, this is the Jack Doherty coin. Again, not financial advice, but certainly would not be investing in anything that is about someone going live. This is all based on the Alex Becker thing. So yeah, this looks like it hasn't been rugged, I don't think. It doesn't look like it has. But it also looks effing terrible. Also looks pretty bad. And I mean, yeah, look at this. Bought, sold. So these two wallets never bought anything. Sold, didn't buy anything. Sold, didn't buy anything. Sold. Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute 100% scam, isn't it? Let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Trading the trenches, you are 100% going to get burnt, is my opinion. Yeah, so it literally goes back to, yeah, jackdoherty.com. Yeah, get out of here. Might give that one a miss. 100%. That's where I'd be at as well. Right, BTC is breaking down again, which doesn't feel great, actually. 109, 191. Looks like we are, unfortunately, continuing this sell-off in the market. So, yeah. If you got a coin you want to take a look at, by the way, meme, utility, whatever it is, we can bring it up. We'll take a look and see what's happening. This is kind of your part of the show where you can ask any questions or you can discuss anything or you can give a view. Look at, I mean, Grippy's up. Let's go, Grippy. I've got a video coming out about Grippy. This is called 700K in our Discord. It's now 1.05 million. So, yeah, and it actually broke nearly 2 milli. So that was a good call. BlackRock files for a Bitcoin premium income and ETF. Yeah, they are. Where are they filing these? I want to see what that is. If you like talking about red things, Canada will be the town Saturday for a friendly rugby match. I'm trying to change the subject for something positive. Let's go. Swamp's in the house. Good on, Swamp. So many discounts. I've lost track of time buying the dip. Whatever happened to Tim the Bear? I don't think it did anything, Alvin. Advantis, AVNT. Yeah, I mean, down. It's at 150. I mean, these are the things, though. You could argue and say, well, maybe Astler could be the one you're going to get into. Maybe you're going to get into kind of, you know, this particular one, Advantis, so for example. Yeah, we'll have to see. What about these rumors of a disgruntled rabbit? Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. We talked about it. It's a perfect time to get wrecked. Wrecked rabbit, baby. Yeah, check out that, by the way. If you haven't seen it, by the way, head on over to wreckedrabbit.com. See what's going on over there. This time, it's different, baby. Go on over there and see what's coming. This is coming over the hill. If you're interested, go and check it out. Yeah, we'll be talking about this coin contract address coming soon, as is the launch. Again, go and have a look and see what's going on. wreckedrabbit.com, baby. Don't miss that one. That one's going to be epic. Thoughts on Afrium? Oh, Holmes, did you? Not Holmes. Tim, did you bring Afriums? Yeah, I know it's almost hilarious, but that's the beauty of it, Holmes, isn't it? That is the beauty of it. Think about it. Think about it. Do 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 do. That's what we're about. When is he going to stop bleeding? I mean, look. Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully now. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Afrium. I think it was Tim that bought Afrium. I haven't. Where is CoinMarketCap? Oops. Coin. Afrium. Yeah. Where is it at? It's up actually on the day. But yeah, Tim, did you tell me about this one? So it's up 11% on the day. Currently trading at about just under $11 million market cap. So yeah, I feel like Tim was talking about this one. I feel like Tim talked about this. I don't know too much about it. Tim seemed pretty bullish on it. 100k is the retracement level, do you think? Oh, no. I mean, the fact your name's... Oh, I love that as well, by the way. Let's hope not. I mean 106, 100k, who knows? I guess what you don't want to see is 100k like today. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Shut up, 37. Jay, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Jazz is here as well. Good to see you. Alf's in the building. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the live. Don't forget, hit the follow button. Also, tap that screen if you want to. We're at like 20,000 likes. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. 100k would be great, though. Lovely price to buy. I mean, that's true. That's true. And if you are in that place, and this is where we always talk about taking profits on the way up and, you know, don't be afraid to have some capital sat on the side. I mean, look at AVAX as an example. It's down 10%. Have you seen all the craziness that's going on with AVAX? Like what they're building. I mean, look at that sell-off. I mean, it's insane to think about where AVAX was. You know, these are definitely opportunities you get in. If you believe that Astler's going to absolutely go crazy, then this could be the moment to get into Astler as well. I mean, it's bouncing off pretty nicely off this kind of 190 range. You know, could this now start to print to a new all-time high? Maybe. Maybe. These are, like we said, opportunities if you know how to do them. The trouble you've got is, and by the way, this is not financial advice. I'm just giving you my view. People panic buy, or they'll go like 100%. So, for example, let's say I wanted to get a position in Aster, and I'm not adverse to it, by the way. I've traded it 3 times now. I shorted it once, and I bought spot twice, and done very well on all 3 trades. Let's say I want to get into it right now. Let's say I've got 5 bands to put in, right? Let's say I've got 5 grand to put in this. I'm going to put 1,000 in today, and I'll put 1,000 in tomorrow, depending on where the price is, and I'll see where Wednesday. You know, I'll see. You just do it that way. I'm not going to go and like clip 5Gs into it and then be like, oh my god, it's gone down 3%. That's where people get it wrong in this game. That's where people get it wrong in this game. They just go full in, full out. No. Do a little bit at a time. It will definitely work out better in the long run. Boxvan, I'd still suggest you wait before doing this month. At least let the markets calm down so that you can estimate your chance and support the market calm down. What's that for? Boxvan, just stay away from leverage. If you can make money from spot trading, then you won't. Yeah, I mean, I'm an engineer, so very, very cautious. I always have a factor of safety. Fine with spot trading for altcoins. It's like the other side of trading I'm getting into. Look, again, you do you. If you're new to leverage trading, just stay low margin, low leverage, right? And then tight stop losses. Because what you're trying to do, I think, when you get into leverage trading is saying, okay, what is my entry point? Equally, what is my point in which I'm looking to get out of it? And then you start to build up a complete trade portfolio. And Jesse does a little bit in our premium Discord, as do I, which sort of gives you, okay, there's my entry, there's my tight stop loss. What would you rather do? Try and get 10 trades on a downtrend. And this is where people, I think, get it wrong as well, is that they will try and catch the fall as opposed to trying to estimate where the bottom is and trying the reversal trade, which I think is generally a slightly better idea. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Right. There was some news that just came in about these ETFs that I wanted to just talk about. Here we go. Eric Balkunas, The Ledge. Here he is. Look, bringing us the alpha. BlackRock registered the name iShares Bitcoin Premium ETF. Finally coming soon. This is a covered call Bitcoin strategy in order to give BTC some yield. This will be a 33x spot product sequel to the 87B IBIT. Given all the other coins about ETF eyes, the notable BlackRock is going another Bitcoin product into synchronizing. They're going to build around BTC and ETH and lay off the rest. At least for now, the market, the horse race for the other coins, much more wide open. Interesting. BlackRock filing for a BTC premium income ETF to save our bags while price is still under 110. Over the past 4 days, cleared leverage, perfect setup. Expect more exotic BTC ETF soon, just as J7 on Bloomberg is forecasting Bitcoin covered. Interesting. Look at that. Who would have thought that, eh? Who would have thought that? The market's dumped $2.6 billion and BlackRock are like, oh, by the way, we're bringing out a new fucking ETF. Like, what? What? Can we get these? Where would they file them with? The SEC. I want to see if there's actually like the... I want to see what there is. Anyway, one time, what's going on? That is almost kind of hilarious, isn't it? That is almost hilarious. Another crypto index ETF is officially at the market. Hashdex, we're delighted to announce the Hashdex NASDAQ Crypto Index US ETF. Ticker NCIQ expands, bringing US investors access to 5 leading crypto assets: BTC, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and XLM. No, I got it. I got it, Tim. We looked at it. It's definitely been rugged. It's a scam. It's definitely a scam. XLM getting an ETF. Interesting. Interesting, everybody. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? Who would have thought that was coming in a market downtrend? See, it's all going to be fine. We started this stream panicking and actually we're going to end it like, it's totally fine. Everything's going to the freaking moon. It's just not going to the moon yet. Oh, man. Come on. What the hell, bro? What the hell? Elizabeth Cat. Right, we're looking at this. This is a DeFi player coming in fresh from Really Rich. What is this thing doing, Really Rich? It's up 600% of the day. Why? Why is it up 600%? It's just a cat. What is going on? The Solana ecosystem's messed up. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, if you've got any questions, by the way, feel free to ask them. Feel free. Have you heard the rumor stocks and shares ISA may allow crypto in the near future? I have not, but I do know the UK and the US are working a bit closer together. I'm not surprised, by the way. Would you want to do that, though? I mean, ISAs are a bit of a scam anyway, I think, in the UK. What are they at now? What is an average ISA interest rate? Like 0.5%? Absolute con, in my opinion. Absolute con. We need more breaking news. Yeah, I'm trying to. Might as well give every coin an ETF. I mean, maybe. I like this one, though. I like this one as like an altcoin ETF. This is kind of nice. This is kind of nice. Is this going to make a difference? Probably not, though. That's the answer you got to think. Probably not. But it does give us a little bit more optimism in the market to say, well, is BlackRock... I mean, is BlackRock truly like super dialed into the markets? Maybe they are. Maybe that's why we're getting this. It'd be interesting to see kind of what's happened. Where is... Okay, yeah, let's stick to some of these filings to see coming in right now. Let's see if there is more filings. BlackRock, James Sefra. Let's just stick with Eric Balkunas. He's going to keep us up to date with what's going on. Eric, keep us posted, bro. Yeah, the 2x-ified ETFs since they came out. Since the size of stocks in the data, the 2x ETFs launched, take with the 2x-ification of going into small cap stocks, even broadline micro caps. So, yeah. This is definitely interesting, though. Definitely interesting. Given all the other coins about ETFs, notable BlackRock is going into another Bitcoin product. Yeah, I want to kind of see what they are, really. Basket of memes ETF. Hard to keep cash on the side when there is so many dips. Always thinking this one is the last one before the Russia testing abroad, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. Mike Tran says they're dumping on you guys. I mean, who? Who's dumping on us? Tell them to stop it. Which ETF is that? This is a BlackRock Premium ETF, which I think is pretty interesting. The fact that they have got in, well, they're listed for 2. And I still think this, by the way, I still think we're going to see, I sort of talked about this yesterday, that next week could end up being like one of those weeks where you see just loads of it. Bear in mind right now, the ETF regulation structure, they've changed, so they can fast track these ETFs through. These ETFs could be live tomorrow. Like, think about that. Think about that. You could have a Bitcoin Premium ETF for BlackRock live tomorrow after it's filing. That could be a big deal, man. We're getting definitely some bits of breaking news coming in right now. Cointelegraph announcing that we have Rex Osprey launching the first US ETH staking ETF. What the flipping heck is going on, baby? Rex Osprey, strategic collaboration between Rex Shares and Osprey Funds today announced the launch of the Rex Osprey Ethereum and staking ETH, the first 1940 Act US listed ETF to give investors exposure to Ethereum plus staking rewards. Holy shit, this might end up being like pretty crazy over the next 24 hours, by the way. This actually might end up being pretty wild. We got like 109 people here on TikTok. What's going on, everybody on TikTok? Don't forget the follow button if you're enjoying this content. And if you're bullish on cryptocurrency, we're not about all those other complete bullshit channels. We're just about the facts, baby. Hit the follow button. Likewise on YouTube, by the way, make sure you're sharing this out. Make sure you're tapping the like button. We appreciate your support. Maybe this day off the government where things halt for 24 hours. Yeah, I mean, the government close down is not a good thing, by the way, just so we're all crystal clear on that. Government shutdowns, not a good thing at all. Like, not good. Because basically what you're saying is at that point is that government bodies that we trust to run the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars or pounds or whatever it is, they can't even come to a freaking agreement to actually then stay at work. Like, the government shutdown's not a good idea, in my opinion. Now, what you're doing is you're playing chicken with someone that's never going to move. And I think the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, I believe, or Hakeem Jeff, whoever the leader of it is, they're literally playing chicken with a car that's not moving. That's the reality. Is Trump ain't going to bend on this. Like, he's not. Jesus, he just changed Biden's picture and put a frigging pen up there. Do you know what I mean? So closing the government is not a good thing at all, actually. So we don't want to see that. We don't want to see it. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, by the way, but we don't want to see it. We don't really like the ETFs much so far. It's allowed very clever people into the market and it's hardly been good for the most. True. I mean, it was always going to happen at the end of the day, though, wasn't it? It was always going to get to that point. And it is what it is, I guess. Connor Price says, some bullish news on Link coming through as well. Nice. Nice. What is the news coming through on Chainlink, though, by the way? I don't know what it is. Cool Cat's in the building. What's on? Definitely not been through a lot of them shutdowns. Yeah, I mean, it's very rare. It's very rare and generally not good. Just bought some more Sol. Interesting. Yeah, see, I could never buy Sol. I could never buy it because I bought it $8. So why Troll got listed on Coinbase? I have no idea. I don't know. They must have a new person at listings at Coinbase. They must have. They did list Troll and something else. It's crazy. They still haven't listed Brett. It's like the most crazy thing in the world. You open the Coinbase app and it's got Brett on there. Like, it's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild. Juice the Kid, what's going on? Says, have you seen the new mandatory have to carry ID law? Really? I've not seen that. What, in the UK or the US? Bullish news is not saying the move. Market has to correct and will be no matter. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. The chat went invisible, had to leave and come back. Okay, cool. The UK. I've seen they're trying to push ID cards. Yeah, I have seen that, which is a bit mental, if I'm honest. Can you remind me when you usually see the financial reset if the government shut down? That's around about September, isn't it? Well, the US, you have obviously the summer recess. I'm not sure, actually. I don't generally think it's a done thing, right? Yeah, I mean, October 7th and 8th, I think. Mass firing plans for potential shutdown. A memo, the Trump administration says the reduction in force plans would go beyond standard strategic furloughs. The Office of Management and Budget moves to permanently reduce the government workforce and their shutdown, outlined in the memo shared with Politico ahead of the release of the agencies tonight, escalates the stakes of the potential shutdown next week. In the memo, OMB told agencies to identify programs, projects, and activities where discretionary funding will lapse on October 1st and no alternative funding source is available. So, yeah, so certain elements of it. I mean, there was one I think was like, $1 billion, some sort of crazy stuff. The goal is to ruin your life. Published hardworking families already struggling with Trump tariffs and inflation. He said, remember in November. There we go. We'll see. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries stuck with different note on X, appeared to take the threat seriously. Trump won't move. And, we'll see. We will see. All right. But yeah, I mean, that's what it looks at. That's potentially when it's going to come in 7th and 8th. So in line with October, everything seems to be dialing into an October, interesting move. Are we going to have October? I mean, I still think so. I mean, there's lots of, yeah. Yeah, so US government fiscal reset or fiscal cycle is defined by the fiscal year, which begins October 1st and ends on September the 30th of the following calendar year. So yeah, 5 days you've got the fiscal cycle end. So the US fiscal cycle must run October to September, whereas the UK runs obviously April to March, or March to April. So yeah, so you've got fiscal reset coming in. Congress have got to approve the budget that determines federal spending and revenue. We'll see what that looks like. And then, obviously, we go into October, hopefully. Historically, it's all played out pretty well. Aligned to them potential market top. Cycle top in. I mean, we'll see. October down, October doesn't matter. Just keep buying quality coins. I mean, that's true, the Jackal. That's true. Just got to get involved. Joe Bro says, so they will get rid of the Fed and money will be found. They won't get rid of the Fed, but what you're going to get is potentially new areas of spending. So they could come out and say, we're going to spend money on... They could come out and say, we're going to spend money on digital assets. We're going to give every kid in the US... $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, like that, I mean, it's unlikely, isn't it? But you never know. What is happening to the market these days, bro? The market took an absolute dumperino. Uncertainty in the market, nervousness, fiscal resets, as well as policy changes, and yeah, slowing ETFs. Albeit, feels like that is now starting to change, and we might actually see a slight pivot on the fact that we just seen BlackRock like potentially put in 2 more ETFs, which is kind of crazy in fairness. But yeah. So yeah, a couple of reasons. You've got liquidations. We saw $1.4 billion. That's $2.8 billion this week, which is insane. You got weak demand and weak inflows. Not really much going on. US Treasury yields rising. People choosing to go into a more traditional finance market as opposed to risk on. And then you've got all this kind of government potential failure to get a budget through, which, I mean, I can't imagine how many times it's actually happened. I don't think it's many. I think you now know why the market is tight. Can take a slumping institution. Maybe. Mike, what's going on, buddy? 2-bit. I think we were all screwed. XRP literally didn't flinch when the case ended. I don't believe that Chris Larsen dumped the exact top. Interesting. Maybe, Mike. Maybe. I mean, it depends. I think it depends what happens in the next 24 hours. That's my view. UK will get in line with crypto eventually. Trump is pushing us to work with the US. I mean, that's true. I'm still up on my E. Nice. Let's get it. 30,000 likes. What? Let's set legends. Dave up. Hero. Let's wait and see. Yeah, I think tomorrow could be interesting. I think tomorrow could definitely be interesting. Especially if we are getting all this kind of news coming through about ETFs. Well, does that end up then we start to see some of these ETFs flow through tomorrow? Remember, they are in a world where they can fast track these ETFs, which I think therefore is going to be important. So we'll see. What's the bottom? I mean, don't ask me. Don't ask me at the minute. Crypto Quant saying, analyst says short-term Bitcoin holders realized over 2.2 billion in losses in the past 24 hours. See, that's the other note as well that's worth sort of speaking about. And this is kind of where we get into this world. So just understand exactly what this means. This means people bought the top and sold the bottom. Like, I mean, it's literally the worst way of investing in the world. Again, this is another reason why you've seen prices push down. It'd be interesting to see what the long-term holder looks like, the long-term holder scenario. But yeah, short-term holders basically dumped the dip, which I'm sure many people thought. They were like, oh my God, we need to kind of think about selling. The market's completely cooked and everyone told me we were going to the moon and we're not. It's a disaster. A big guy on X said we had 90% done with this move down. A big guy on X. Who the hell is the big guy on X? Don't know where the bottom is, but I'll buy where you put your stop loss. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. If you can't handle the crash, sell all and find a new hobby. Crochet, yoga, color paint, color by numbers. The whole year, the market dumping. Every end of the month, we got to pay rent. Yeah, I mean, that's true. People are saying 105 BTC tomorrow or tonight, and then the bottom should be in, but we'll never know until October. I mean, 105. I mean, what? What's that? Well, 105 is... There's 105 here. I mean, you could argue maybe you've got... I mean, you're back in, like, June time to kind of get some support. You've got no support here. You'd argue that the move at 107 is more likely. 105, I mean, that's another big push down. I mean, short term, I would argue you go candle body at the bottom, 108, 287. Lower than that, you start to look at sort of the bigger historical point, which would be somewhere around the 107 range. But yeah, 107, 350. So I think 108 is probably, well, 109 is going to be the key one psychologically. 108, 3 is probably a decent one. 107, 250 probably feels like it's probably the real bit. And then boom, if we don't, I mean, the historical fib, I did that right at the very start of the show. If you take the recent all-time high to that move down there, you can see the 108, 320 is a 382 Fibonacci, and then 236 at 104, 530. So, you know, that's where I would be positioning a potential move on some of these. So yeah, 108, 320, I think is probably where I would get to with the next push down. And then, yeah, 104, 531. So you could argue maybe 105 is the 236 Fibonacci, or slightly below it, but yeah. Did you make any bullish calls in Discords with memes, etc. today? No, we didn't actually. I don't think so anyway. What was in there? Hold on a minute. There was a couple that I think we talked about the other day, but head in hands, I see the YouTube thumbnails now, the crypto influence. Yeah, I mean, everyone's doing. Everyone will be like, super bearish, like we're going to fucking zero. Alpha calls. There we go. What did we get? So, yeah, only the grippy coin that we called a couple of days ago. That's still at a 2x from that. But yeah, nothing new. Probably a good day to chill anyway. Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, there's a lot. I mean, look, you're going to be able to find the degen coins out there, aren't you? Definitely. You know, some will be making some moves, but yeah. Capo Del Capi says, I need your assistance, please. As long as it's not asking me for money, then go for it. Ask your question and I will hopefully try and answer it. People can buy the dip now because Bill's got to pay it. Only whales can get these lows and sell on us again. I mean, that's true. That's true. What's the red one? Oh, the red one's the 236. The red fib would take us to about 105. Yeah. Yeah, just under 105. Just under 105. How low you think XRP will go? Well, XRP is a slightly different one. Now, interesting here on XRP, look, this is the chart we've had for a while, and we only just broke out of this support range. I would expect XRP to push back into this range, actually. And I guess you could argue maybe you could just slightly adjust the range to kind of catch through them. We talked about this yesterday. You know, you're probably much more aligned to that sort of move, breaking out of this range. So XRP could go down a little bit further in line with the market. The fact that we didn't see as big a sell-off then is probably an important bit. You know, we saw this wick down. The only difference that I think between now and Monday is it doesn't feel like buying pressure's coming back in. I think everyone's kind of sat there going, right, just going to wait and see, like, which is fine. You know, you probably get a lower dip in volume. It'll probably end up being a little bit quiet over the course of the next couple of days. Oops, I did not mean to put that there. Then yeah, we could sort of see where we get to. We can see where we get to. So yeah, we will freaking see. Oh, what the hell? Where's the? I thought I had the volume chart. Okay, no matter. But yeah, I would wait and see if we were to say, well, how low can we go from 275? Where do you look for strong support? 265. Again, lower than that though. You're looking around what 242. That's the next big area of kind of volatility that could come in. So yeah, we'll see. Right, Capo, you haven't answered. You haven't put anything in the chat, so I can't help you. I think 105 is a minimum. 100k is not impossible. Yeah, true. XRP below 270. Wick down, then up. True. True. The fact that I think XRP is well within this range, though, is kind of good news. It's kind of good news. And again, following an interesting pattern, we'll see. I think it's going to be just important to see kind of how it all plays out, really. And I would not be doing anything for the next, at least, my view, by the way, probably the next 4 or 5 hours. If you take Bitcoin as an example, and we run this in like, let's run it as the hourly chart, just to give you kind of a bit of a sentiment of where we've gone. It all sort of plays out very similar. So 7 o'clock here. Yesterday, we got the 7 a.m. dump. So this was obviously on Monday when we got that big liquidation event. You then got 6 o'clock here on Tuesday. We then got here, we got the morning dump. So we're definitely seeing kind of morning dump, which is, like we said, mainland China, Asia, India, Bangladesh, etc. And then we're seeing the US sort of late night dump as well. So I wouldn't be doing anything till probably 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, my time, and see what happens. Okay, if tomorrow, ask the market to dump so I can DCA. Sorry, Calamari, get the hell out of here. Like, what? BTC's going to 75k. That is wild. That is like the wildest one I've heard tonight. 75. Do you mean like just at some point it will retrace back to 75k? Or do you think this move is taking us to 75k? That's a fucking crazy. That's crazy. You think BTC's dipping 45%? Mate, the market's over if it dips to 75k. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. 74k. You guys are crazy. My dumps are in the morning. That's true. Mick says, where are you based? God's own county, baby. I'm in the UK. Asia markets have been battering. Yeah, they have. Yeah, they really have. Oh, we might have some more breaking news, everybody. Hold on a second. We might have some breaking news. I know you guys are loving the breaking news right now. Loving the breaking news. Hey, thanks for the follow. Right. Breaking news. Let's have a look. It might. Is it good news? That's the question. Here we go. I'm going to read this first. It's not. Oh. I don't think it's good. Well, I don't think it really matters. It's about some guy that wants to fork Bitcoin. Man, no one's forked Bitcoin for ages. I said forked, by the way, as well. No one has forked Bitcoin for a while, so people just need to shut the hell up. It's talking absolute nonsense. Nonsense. Right. Where's Tomato Pete? Don't tell Tomato Pete that I brought breaking news. He's going to absolutely hate on me for that. He's going to be like, no. Oh yeah, look at this. Digital ID to be made law for all adults in the UK. The proposal of the governor's latest attempt to tackle illegal immigration. Don't get me started on that. Yeah, number painting is what I meant being a French Canadian. I need to translate them. Love it, Vincent. Chad Master, what's going on? Said this is going to continue to happen all the way until we get to a spot. ETF approved in October, November. For what? Bitcoin? We've already got some. Hey, is it true that you place an RSI at 7 instead of 14 because crypto is not stock and more unstable? What? If Bitcoin has 75k, we're all cooked. I think so as well, yeah. I think so as well. Walking breaking news, thanks to Marpy. Thanks, mate. Current long with 265 liquidation, so might add some more margin. You got in at 265. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Oh, breaking news to Marpy. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. It's way not as exciting as I'm making it. But breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. Bitwise has filed for a hyperliquid ETF. Asler ETFs are coming. Shit, buy the dip, quick. I'm kidding, by the way. Oh, it's over $2. What the fuck? Come on. Because I'm talking to you, complete choppers. I missed the dip. Shit. Bitwise filing for a hyperliquid ETF. Watch out. Aster ETFs coming soon. Canary Wharf are going to be filing for it. Everybody's going crazy. The market's fine. You got it wrong. We're absolutely going to pump to oblivion. Make sure you hit the follow button. Also, if you want to join the premium Discord, get in there as well. It's $8 a month. It's worth it. Bitcoin is rallying a little bit. All right. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. We're up to, it'd be nice to get to 110, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to close out 110. The chat like a toddler trying to color with lines. That's true. That's true. Anyway, let's get it. But yeah, look at this. The Bitwise Hyperliquid ETF is an exchange-traded product that issues common shares of beneficial... Man, ETFs, I told you this was going to happen. I literally said, if you haven't seen my TikTok video, by the way, you guys should. I literally talked about the fact that I thought ETFs were going to start to pile into the freaking markets. Man, they think we don't know what's going on. Little do they know this community is one of the greatest communities in the world. We know what's going on. Holding on to my XRP, what do we think could potentially be hit price? I mean, I'm holding on to my XRP as well. People told me not to, but I'm holding on to it. I mean, I'm not going to sell anything till probably $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. That's my opinion anyway. Stephen, yeah. See, I literally said, I think I said it yesterday on our show, actually. I think I literally said, watch out, this week could end up with ETFs coming in by the end of the week, and we could see them freaking listed next week. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Just saying. Just saying. Where do we see these filings? Solid move to a bit. Tim, you know what's up, baby. Yeah. I literally called this, by the way. I mean, oh my God, there's so many. Like, holy crap. How do you kind of even like see what's going on? Fossil Group Europe are launching an ETF. What? HSBC? What? What? Company? BlackRock. Yeah, BlackRock funds. Yeah, look how many oh my God, there's loads of filings coming in. What the flipping heck, baby? I've got them. I've got them all. Just FYI, by the way, if you are curious, here are all the filings going into the SEC. BlackRock ETF Trust 2. BlackRock Funds. BlackRock California Municipal Series Fund. What the flipping heck are all these kind of stuff? ETF Trust. Wow, look how many filings have come in the last like couple of hours. It's pretty crazy. Let's see if Fidelity are doing anything. So Fidelity have done a couple of bits. So securities funds. Okay, no one cares about this. Maybe I need to do form type ETF. Nope, that doesn't help. ETF Opportunities Fund. What the f are these things? What's it, man? What are these? Certification, no change. Okay, we don't want that. ETF Opportunities Funds, Register of Securities section. What's this? Change of different. Okay, this is nothing worth noting, I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna let the experts find it. Oscar calls ETH to what? Tenium? What? I don't know what that means. What do you think about P2P? I don't know. As in player to player. What's with this manipulation? Bits plays. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, not great, is it? Not great. Man, I need to kind of see this a little bit more. Right, let's just stick with BTC a little bit. As it starts to kind of play up. So yeah, we'll just kind of stick with a few of these funds. So these are all start coming in. So Goldman Sachs Group are launching it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're just going to see if anything else comes through, by the way. Frankie, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Remember terrarium with Dr. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. The exchange in India that they built a house. I wonder how that's getting on. Still makes me laugh when you see them all laughing about Fartcoin in the crypto roundtable meetings. Chainlink has been holding since $3. Yeah, I mean, we talked about Chainlink before. Nice. Nice hold, Jackal, actually. I think that's going to be good. A Chainlink ETF in October. Nice. I feel like we've seen that, haven't we? I feel like we've seen that. Yeah, man, there's loads of ETFs coming in. Oh, my God. There's loads of filings coming in. No real ETF. Cypher Mining Incorporated. Filed something. I don't know what that is, but it's happening. I think maybe this was the big shakeout to launch all these ETFs, and everyone's going to come in. All of a sudden, next week, Bitcoin's going to start wrecking the shorts as everyone starts to leverage their short positions, thinking that everything's going down to freaking zero. Yeah, interesting. Bitwise. Yeah, we talked about that one. What's the fans thing? What? Isn't there huge liquidity around 106 for BTC market makers forced to clear out down? Yeah, I mean, we kind of looked at that, I think, a little bit. We are actually pretty late to the finish, by the way. I need to get out of here in a minute, but I'm trying to hang on a little bit. I got a view that maybe I should try and do a little bit longer. If Bitcoin goes any lower, I will be ripping the cushions off my couch for more funds. Right, this is on the 3-day on Binance. So, I mean, we've wiped a ton of liquidity out to the downside. Wiped loads out to the downside. So, definitely definitely feel like upside maybe is the thing to get. Maybe. How long is the dump going to take? Again, it could literally be over in the next 6 hours. You're just going to have to wait and see. You're just going to have to wait and see. Wait and see what the, Asian markets do. That is going to be the key indicator for us. If the Asian markets do well, then we could also do well. Right. That, ladies and gentlemen, does bring us to the end of the stream. As always, thank you so much for tuning in with me. I appreciate it. I definitely want to start to maybe hook up something that is like members only stream or something afterwards. I don't know what that looks like yet, but I saw Randy Hipper do something like a members only or a subscriber only stream afterwards. I don't know what it would be that'd be different though. I don't know what it'd be that are different. Anyway, we'll have to think about it. But I am going to probably stream on Saturday, I think. I think Vern and I are going to do something, maybe on TikTok, I'm not sure. But I probably will stream on Saturday because my missus is out for dinner. So I'll be on my own. So we may do a stream. Well, I say we may do. We will do a stream on Saturday. So make sure you guys are dialed in for that. But I'll be back tomorrow night, as always, live here at 9 o'clock. Look out for content that I'm putting out all day. We've got some content coming out about this market as well. Keeping you focused in, dialed in. And again, making sure that you know the best, in my opinion, of the market is yet to come. So don't forget, set your alarm clocks, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, turn notification bell to all. So many of you, by the way, do not have that notification bell turned to all. Make sure you click it, click all. That way you're updated on all our content and everything else. Highly recommend it. Right, everybody, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Ta-ra.